deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Primetime. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us here today. I am your host, Jalen Gillis, getting ready to take you through the primetime topics in sports, not just in the Central Texas area, but from all around the nation. Happy Tuesday to everybody out there as we're getting a little bit of crazy weather here today as we just started off March. Like I said yesterday, don't know how we've already gotten this far. Happy Fat Tuesday to everybody out there, my Louisiana people, my people from the boot. Mardi Gras is in season. It is Fat Tuesday. Definitely go and get you some king cake. Enjoy you some crawfish, some shrimp. If y'all know somebody in Waco that actually know how to make the crawfish and the shrimp the right way, like they do in the boot, not we get to doing our own thing out there in Texas, the real way. You do the crawfish and the shrimp and stuff. Send them my way, man. Like I said, happy Tuesday to everybody out there today. Want to thank you guys for tuning in with us over on YouTube, Centex Sports Network / Centex Sports TV. Thank you guys for joining on here and tuning in with us today. As always, make sure you guys like and share this stream. Also, hit that subscribe button so you can get notified. And also click the bell so you can get notified whenever we go live here, 5 to 7 p.m. weekdays right here on Centex Prime Time. Well, folks, we got full show here today. We got plenty to talk about as we get started. We'll have Rocky Miller joining in with us. We'll get Wayne Walker back on here with us as well today as we get ready to go through some of these topics, man. Hot topics everywhere. We're going to talk a little bit about SGA and what he did to my Rockets last night. That was almost like watching art or something, watching some type of masterpiece, even though he was doing it to my team. He was scoring so easily. I'm like, man, this is crazy. We'll talk about Devontae Adams getting cut from the Jets. We talking about future Hall of Famer Devontae Adams. Used to lead the league in catches every year. Devontae Adams just got released from the New York Jets. We'll talk about Saquon Barkley re-upping on his new deal. New extension for Saquon Barkley as he gets some new money. They reward him for winning that Super Bowl ring out there in Philly. Cowboys made some moves and paid some of their players. Talk a little bit about that. We'll talk some more about, this conversation with LeBron and Anthony Edwards, and Stephen A. has got in the middle of all this some kind of way and saying that this is LeBron's fault and he shouldn't be saying that. LeBron saying he gets by Anthony Edwards, doesn't want to be considered the face of the league. And some guys took offense to that. Stephen A., he kind of really just proved that point. We'll talk a little bit about that. Well, I'll give out some of the prop bets that I like for tonight. Some of the props that I got tonight. Simple stuff, little 4-man I put together, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Maybe you can take a couple of picks from that as well. And we'll talk about some of the games that are coming on tonight, as we've got a pretty decent slate of NBA games coming on here tonight. Steph Curry and the Warriors headed out to New York. Everybody likes to show out whenever they get into the Garden. So we'll see Steph Curry out there taking on the New York Knicks. And then in the night game as well, we'll see Kevin Durant and the losing Phoenix Suns. I don't know what other way to try to describe them. The disappointing Phoenix Suns, they're taking on the Clippers, the 9 o'clock game. So we'll talk about that as well today. Like I said, folks, got a full show. Lots of things to talk about, but I got to start with the opening news that, well, there's a few things for opening news that we saw here today. First one, Devontae Adams getting cut by the New York Jets. Now, yesterday on the show, for those of you that watched, we talked about this yesterday. The reports already came out that, hey, these guys are thinking about cutting Devontae Adams. They're already thinking about they're already planning on getting rid of Aaron Rodgers. Reports saying they're planning on getting rid of Adam Lazard. Everybody from the Rodgers contingency that he brought with him over from Green Bay, they will be heading out of the New York Jets, as they brought them all in there. Last year they brought Devontae Adams in. They brought in Adam Lazard to all kick it with Aaron Rodgers. They even brought his offensive coordinator. None of those seem to have worked out. Bringing in a completely different regime, and it's going for player personnel as well. So Devontae Adams finds himself cut. Yesterday when we talked about it on the show, we thought, hey, well, maybe they'll try to trade him. I was on here with Wayne and PJ, and we said maybe they'll try to trade him because a guy like Devontae Adams is a little too valuable for people to just cut him and release him and let him go to any team he wants to go to. They'll try to get some type of value out of him, but they decided, hey, we're not going to take this, make this be a big drawn-out deal. We're not going to make this take a long time. We're just going to get the deal done, and we're going to let Devontae Adams go, and he gets to be a free agent once again. He was a free agent, I think, 3 years ago when he ended up signing with the Las Vegas Raiders. Now a free agent once again, a little bit older. He's still getting to keep some of that money that he got. I noticed this last year of his deal was not fully guaranteed, but Devontae Adams on his way out of New York. Joining me in the studio to join in on some of the conversation here today, as he is on most Tuesdays here, Mr. Rocky Miller in the building with us. Rock, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm glad to be here. It's always good. It's one of the highlights of my week to come in here and sit down and talk sports with you guys as we kind of go all over the place sometimes.
Yeah, we do. That's
here.
The good part about it.
We have some very interesting debates, topics, and conversations. I was, just thinking as you were giving the news regarding the Jets. Mm-hmm. I guess the Aaron Rodgers experiment is over.
It is over with completely. We talked about before the offseason started where it's going to be over with as soon as we seen the news of Aaron Glenn getting a head coaching job. Not only is the Rodgers experiment over with, but everybody he brought with him, it seems to be on their way back out of New York as well.
It's no longer in Aaron we trust.
No.
So
not at all.
But it is in Aaron we trust.
Yeah, just the other one.
Because it's Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
So it's funny. It's funny about that. I think this is just a move that's being made to reset the franchise and try to get a fresh start. Mm-hmm. Everything that I think they did the past couple of years was to take a shortcut to a championship by bringing a Hall of Fame quarterback in and his contingent of support.
Yeah.
You literally brought his whole receiving corps to the Jets.
Randall Cobb came and he retired. I think he came out of retirement to come up there.
You look Randall Cobb, you look at Devontae Adams and Lazard.
Adam Lazard, yeah.
The only person I think you didn't bring is Jermichael.
Yeah. Jermichael Finley.
Yeah, Jermichael Finley. So, and again, and so, but they tried to catch lightning in the bottle, and we all know that that's not how NFL championships are won.
No.
No matter how many times people try to take shortcuts and assemble the best talent available. NFL championships are won because you have a complete team.
Yes.
And I hate to use the word chemistry, but you have to have some synergy among your team. And I think when you have too much focus on one side of the ball or one person,
Mm-hmm.
right? You end up having what happened to the Jets the past 2 years, which was a disaster and a failure. And I know Jet fans are frustrated, and I hope that Aaron Glenn can get them turned around.
Yeah, hopefully he's the guy that can turn it around, man. I mean, Aaron Glenn is a guy that put in his time, put in his work out there in Detroit, and was able to make a difference in Detroit. Almost led them to a Super Bowl. They came up short just a couple of times, but now he gets his shot. He gets his chance to go out there and to be able to make something happen. So Aaron Glenn making his mark already in just a short time that he's been a part of this New York Jets tenure. He's letting go of Rodgers, he's letting go of Adams, and he's letting go of Lazard. I'm interested to see how they're going to approach, the draft is coming up, and we talked a little bit about the Combine yesterday, and I'll get your opinion on some of the things with the Combine that we talked about yesterday. But I'm interested to see, is this Jets team, are they going to be a trade-up type of team in this draft and try to go after a quarterback, or are they saying, hey, we've got some other talented guys on this team, we've got a couple talented running backs, we still got a young Garrett Wilson who I think can be one of the best receivers in the league when he gets the opportunity and the targets. They still got a lot of good building pieces on the defensive side of the ball. When you talk about Quentin Williams, Quincy Williams, you talk about Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, all of those guys out there in New York. I'm interested to see how they're going to approach these next couple of weeks, really, because now we've got free agency coming right around the corner. The Combine just happened. We got the draft coming up in April. Because I don't think that Aaron Glenn wants to sit back and kind of wait around to get good and just say, well, let's get a couple filler years in here and see how it's going to work. I think Aaron Glenn is coming out and he's saying, hey, I want to be good right now as soon as I get this opportunity on the Jets. Because I don't know how long this opportunity is going to last. So I think that he's saying, hey, I'm going to go out there and try to win. I don't want any distractions like a Rodgers. Devontae Adams is kind of just a casualty along with the Aaron Rodgers thing. Adam Lazard the same way. Maybe we could see a Jets trade up for that number 1 pick, that number 2 pick. I've seen that in a couple of mock drafts, people saying the Jets are going to move up. I even seen a package where they said they would trade Aaron Rodgers to the Tennessee Titans and maybe their pick at number 7 to try to move up and get that number 1 pick. I don't think that's going to happen because the Jets are already showing, hey, we're just going to cut these guys and move on. I think Aaron Rodgers will probably be the same. They'll probably cut a lot of these guys, take the cap hit this year, and then moving forward from that, just try to build on their team from there. But I'm going to keep my eyes on this Jets team and what decisions they have to make coming up. Folks, like we said, Adams getting released, but there's other NFL contract news, multiple NFL contract news. The first one being Saquon Barkley gets rewarded for winning the championship. Saquon Barkley gets the contract that the New York Giants didn't want to give him. He took almost, I don't want to say a friendly deal. When he came to the Eagles, he still got paid some money. But this new deal, making him the highest paid running back in NFL history, a 2-year, $41.2 million extension that makes him the highest paid running back in NFL history, includes $36 million guaranteed at signing, which makes him the first running back to get more than $20 million per year, has the ability to earn an additional $15 million in incentives and escalators moving forward. I couldn't be more happy about this news for Saquon Barkley because we know what the running back market has been like over the last few years. We know what Saquon himself just had to go through just to be able to get to the Eagles. He had to sit there and go through contract negotiations while being a team's best player and still got the short end of the stick. Goes to Philly, bets on himself, cashes in, wins a Super Bowl, leads the league in rushing, almost breaks the record, and now gets to become the highest paid running back in NFL history. Rock, when you heard the news about Saquon becoming the highest paid running back in NFL history, what was your thoughts on seeing him get this extension?
First off, I thought it was like almost like justice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justice was served, so to speak. I think the notion over the past half decade that running backs are devalued in their importance in the league is a wild exaggeration, in my opinion.
Man, wild exaggeration. Great way to put it.
I think what kind of happened is Zeke had the cow, and I'm bringing my Cowboys into
Yeah.
this. Zeke had Jerry over a barrel, and he extorted Jerry for $50-some-odd million. And then from then on, they didn't want that to be the presidents in the league, so they ran a campaign to devalue the running back.
Yeah.
Because they knew they had some good up-and-coming running backs that are playing. You're talking Josh Jacobs. You're talking Aaron
Jones.
And guys like that. They didn't want those guys to be in that same situation, being young, productive running backs and then being able to hijack their team. So they were willing to let those guys go. And we see what has happened to those guys. Those guys went to teams, and each one of those teams, if I'm not mistaken, the team they left, the team they went to the playoffs. And in a couple cases, the team they left didn't go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In Saquon's situation in particular, he was tremendously valuable when he got done wrong a couple times.
Yeah.
When he was a free agent in the same year that Daniel Jones received that huge extension, I thought that was a travesty of justice.
Yeah, it was.
Like, there's no way that guy should have been taken care of before Saquon. And because they didn't take care of Saquon in that moment, what ends up happening? He ends up getting in a situation where they have to franchise tag him the next year, right?
Yep.
And then they give him a little bump, and then they lose him 2 years later. And again, it's interesting. So today I was on. This is how I found out that he got a new contract. I follow Louis Riddick, the ESPN analyst.
Yeah.
And he tweeted a 20-second clip of the Hard Knocks episode of the Hard Knocks.
The offseason, the first offseason Hard Knocks they
and it's
did.
about a 20-minute clip of them discussing Saquon and his visit to the Eagles. And the owner, with great anxiety, says to the GM, I'm gonna hate.
You said I'll
be sick if he goes to the Eagles. So that's how I found out. Louis Riddick tweeted that, and then I went under those tweets, and there was a ton of responses to that tweet. Now, Louis Riddick probably was trolling.
Yeah. Definitely.
And he was identified for trolling. But what I did know is Louis Riddick had interviewed for that GM job at one point.
Yes.
That's what I didn't know.
Yes, I do remember that. Interview for them. And I want to say Cleveland, maybe. It was another team that's also terrible.
Yeah, so
that makes it. He's definitely trolling now.
Yeah. So they said, you're still crying about not getting that job. And then he put this, he responded with a gif of a baby and, crying, Well, in my moment, it's like we can say they should have hired Louis Riddick.
Yeah.
But you could have hired me.
Yeah,
I could have told him not to let Saquon walk. You know what I mean?
That clip showed me and my friends talk about that all the time. That showed me, man, I'm not that far off from an NFL GM. We think these guys got this big spreadsheet out of information and just going down stuff. And I listen to these guys say, well, if we get Devin Singletary and another guy, that'll add up to 1,600 yards, and that's what Saquon was doing. I said, I definitely could be an NFL GM. These guys have no idea what they're talking about.
In other words, it did – in that moment, you had to understand that Saquon was the reason why Daniel Jones became a functional quarterback.
Yeah.
He wasn't functional before Saquon got there.
Wasn't functional after he left.
And certainly wasn't functional after he left.
Yep.
He had a year of functionality while Saquon was there.
Yep. 1 year.
Yeah, and so they had to – how can they not know that Daniel Jones, one, was an inept quarterback, Two, how could they then make the decision to let the owner said he's our most favorite player by far. Now, what the owner didn't also add, in his prime, one of the top players at his position in the league, You understand like
Yeah.
that? And we really don't have much else.
Nothing on the offensive end. This before they got neighbors. They have nothing else on the offensive end.
And so I don't know what the GM's rationale was, other than he had decided in his mind that we weren't going to pay a running back what Saquon was worth. And we've learned by the Giants as an example, if you limit yourself on acquiring talent on anything other than just sheer production, you may put yourself in a situation where you may lose a player that may catapult another team to a championship, and that's exactly what.
And another
Saquon
team
Barkley
within
did.
your division, which makes it even 1,000 times worse. 1,000 times worse.
You know the real reason I think that, because I looked at it like the owner, when the GM started talking, the owner put his hands in his head.
Yeah, he did.
Right. Right. So I'm like, he knows this guy's stupid.
Yeah, he knows.
You know
he listened to that same logic that we all listen to and say, wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You can't just add players' numbers together and think that doesn't make sense.
So he put his hand in his head, and that's when he said, I'm going to be sick. But I think the owner knew at that point, he's been in the NFL a long time.
Yeah.
He knew once that guy got in Philadelphia's building, they weren't going to let him out.
It's over with. He's been losing to Philadelphia long enough.
And
he
just
knows.
think about this. Saquon left that meeting in Philly that day with $27 million. Then comes back this year. I don't know, and signs an extension. I don't know how much cash they gave him this time around, but they guaranteed 36.
Yeah, it's the 2-year deal for 41 million.
Yeah, but they guaranteed 36.
Yeah, 36 of that's guaranteed. That's signing is what it says.
Yeah.
So when he signed that ink today, $36 million is what his portion was going, man.
So it don't matter if he get it now
Nope.
or later.
Nope.
So in 2 years, they essentially have paid him 27 plus 36. Well, 1 year. From 1 year of service, he took 27 as a signing bonus, took 36 as a
signing bonus again on the extension.
extension.
And another $15 million in incentives and escalators is what he can earn. This is how you take care of your players. For the GMs that's wondering.
I think it's just to serve.
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
I hope that other guys because you got guys like Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones, who's a little long in the tooth, but I think he's still productive and deserve. And then you got up and coming running backs.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a lot of
like
good up
that.
and coming backs
And
that are gonna get paid.
I also wanted to piggyback on this.
Yeah.
That you said, if you allow me to go back a little bit.
Go ahead.
You were talking about the Jets. I think the Jets are set up pretty nice if they develop an identity and understand and get a functioning, competent quarterback, meaning that they have a running back.
Yep.
They have a number one wide receiver. They have a good defensive line up front, and they have a decent secondary. Like hey, I'll be honest with you. I know a team about 90 miles from here it seems that they're a lot farther away
than that.
They
for
have
first
a
year head
quarterback,
coach. Yeah.
but some of those other things certainly don't have a running back the caliber of Bryce.
Bryce Hall.
Yeah, Breece
Hall. My bad. Yeah, Breece Hall.
And so again, if they could shore up that offensive line somewhat, I think they're poised to at least be much more competitive than they were this past year.
Than a 4-win team, and I agree completely. That's why I was so excited to see that Aaron Glenn was able to get this job because of all those things you just said. Because most of the time, black head coaches, you're not getting to start with a defense and a good receiver and a running back and some guys that's been all pro before. Like usually, you're starting with a team like the Raiders that have maybe one good player out of 80 people in the building. So to see him go to a team that's got multiple All-Pros and potential All-Pros, like a Breece Hall, like a Garrett Wilson, that's a potential All-Pro. And I want them to get aggressive, and I'm sure that they are. I'm excited to see how aggressive they can get in this offseason as far as the draft, because they're a Cam Ward or a Shador away from really being competitive.
Well, they're going to be able to clear up. So they're going to be able to clear up some money with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Cutting him. Looks like the source I use for cap information looks like they've already taken care of Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
They
updated quick.
They've updated. Just think if they take care of Allen Lazard, man, his cap hit was scheduled for as $13 million this year.
That's crazy.
So
that's going to 500 yards in the season.
That's going to free up. That's going to free up about $11 million in cap space. Come on, man, you got some guys.
Jets making moves. They're making the right moves right now. I'm liking what Aaron Glenn is cooking up so far in this young offseason. Still got to get to free agency. They got to see what they're going to do in the draft. So do they trade up and go get a quarterback, or are they going to take the motto of the Jets who said they're still searching for a veteran quarterback?
I don't think they buy themselves get anything of value. You bring a veteran quarterback in, you're going to pay more than you would a rookie.
Yeah.
You're going to guarantee if you bet at 7, you're going to pay a rookie about $32-33 million over the course of the next 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
Right? You got to remember you're going to have an option for a 5th year. You could potentially, if you divide that up by 4 years, you're at about $8 million. If you bring a guy in that's going to be a starter at quarterback, even a veteran, he's going to want at least 10.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold got how much, and he was.
Yeah, Sam Darnold was on like a $10 to $15 million 1 year deal.
Yeah. So why would you? Why now? The monetary commitment is greater because a lot of those rookie contracts they pay all that they take the $30 million in signing bonus because it's all guaranteed anyway.
Yep.
But the issue that I have is you might as well get started with your next guy, and if you think you can get him at 7. You wait it out. Now, the issue is I think the wild card is 2 things. The Giants is the wild card.
Complete and total wild card.
I think they're looking for a veteran.
Yeah, that's what they keep saying.
They
said that the recent reports is now since Stafford re-signed, they're looking at putting eyes on Aaron Rodgers, which I don't see that happening because I can't think of one reason why Aaron Rodgers would want to go to the Giants.
I know why.
Well, I mean, if you're going to drop that bag, then that's
that $37 million that he's owed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's
got a roster bonus coming up, I think, in a few days or something like that.
March 15th, I believe.
Yeah. He probably want that. And so
the Giants are a wild card. I'm not sure what they're gonna do. They're saying they want a veteran quarterback, but it's the Giants. There's no telling what I've seen in the recent mock draft I was watching from a guy that I like watching this stuff. He had Travis Hunter going there, and that's if somebody trades up or if the Titans decide to get Cam Ward, he thinks that Travis Hunter will be going to New York. So his was either the Jets or the Raiders trading up and going and getting Cam. Browns at 2 getting Abdul Carter. So you think the
Titans are in the quarterback business of getting a quarterback?
I think the Titans are in the business of trading that pick to somebody that wants a quarterback, like the Raiders or the Jets, or potentially even the Saints if they can come up with enough stuff. They're at number 9.
So that's what I'll think when you'll see something. If the Titans are able to get out of that pick, then you'll start seeing other movement. Because one, if someone moves up there, it's a quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Nothing else.
So that means that one of them is gone.
Yeah.
So then you have the Giants, their pick and play because they're probably going to trade out of that spot as well. That's what probably going to happen.
You think they'll trade back?
Oh yeah,
the Giants.
Yeah. So here's the deal: if you trade up, you're trading up for quarterback,
for sure.
right? So what does that mean for the next? I think there are 3 teams that need quarterbacks, and there's only going to be 1 quarterback available. Like if whoever trades up and gets their quarterback, that means they're going to be 3 quarter. They're going to be 1 quarterback available, and either 2 or 3 teams in the top 5 that need a quarterback. Well, if one team goes up there and gets one, that means somebody's going to lead this draft without a quarterback. Can a team like the Giants? Can a team like Cleveland? Can a team like the Raiders and even the Jets?
Yeah, the Jets.
Leave this draft. Leave the draft on draft day without a quarterback, without a first-round quarterback. So, because that's everything you're hearing now, because now you're hearing the post-combine stuff like these guys didn't play a whole season.
Yeah.
And you watch it. Now you're seeing Jackson Dart and Kyle McCord and I've heard some guys even talk about Dallas picking one of those guys in the second round. Like that'd be stupid.
That would be crazy if they did that.
You know,
I hope that they don't.
I don't. But I think with these guys having agents, a lot of that. One thing you don't hear a lot because he doesn't have an agent. Shador doesn't have an agent. So there's not a bunch of stories being leaked about who's taking him. I honestly believe that Prime has it all worked out. He's told all the teams that aren't in the running, don't draft my son. You know what I mean? If you want to draft him, if you want to.
So the Clevelands and the Giants.
He's told them.
Okay. I ain't disagreeing with that at all.
Because I believe this. I'm going to be honest with you. The coach is just as important as the team for Coach Prime.
Yeah. Because he's the only one that's ever coached Shador. So he definitely wants him to go.
So you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, he definitely wants him to go to the right place, yeah.
Do you trust Stefanski? Okay, let's be honest. Stefanski could be gone.
Oh, yeah. He's coaching for his job.
Okay.
2 and 3 are coaching for their job. The Giants and the Browns.
Yeah.
Brian Daboll is coaching for his job.
Could be gone.
Yeah. Will be gone. Will be gone. Will be gone.
He was set up by his GM, unfortunately. And number 5, I don't know who's the 5th pick.
Jacksonville. They're not in the market.
They're not in the market.
Next 2 that's in the market is Raiders and Jets, 6 and 7.
Yeah. Now, does he trust Pete Carroll? I think he does.
I think he does too.
But I don't think Pete believes he's going to be there.
That Shador be there?
Yeah. No. What I'm saying is I don't believe if Cam goes, I don't. Somebody's going. If he's going to have to move to
move up Shador. To go and get Shador.
Yeah, I think really Pete would prefer to work with a veteran. To be honest with you,
the reports were that they were very close, almost to signing a deal with Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
So they were in the market heavy for a veteran quarterback.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders go to the top of the draft somehow.
And move up to the number. Yeah, I'm not shocked about that either. That's what I'm saying. I think they're the ones. It's either them or New York is going to be the ones to make a deal with Tennessee. I think at this point Tennessee is ready to go ahead and move back. I don't think they're sold on anybody, and sometimes it's just too much pressure on some of these organizations to have the number 1 pick because you get a chance to pick everybody, and you don't want to be the guy that makes the wrong pick. So you rather, a la Chicago, they did it 2 times. I think let's just trade back, get some more picks, pick up some more guys. And see what we can get. I think that's going to be Tennessee. I don't see them picking at that number 1 spot. I don't think they're sold. They need a quarterback. I don't think they're sold on Cam or Shador. I don't think they want to take a Travis Hunter that high because maybe what if it doesn't work? Then or should we use a number 1 pick on a corner or on a receiver? And Abdul Carter with the injury that he sustained, I think they're kind of pushing back on them. On the YouTube chat, we got Said jumping in on the YouTube chat with us. First off, he had to put Fly, Eagles, fly, and let us know. I think that's when we was having the Saquon, the Saquon topic. Then he said, "Stop beating around the bush and just say that, and just say the Cowboys are way off from being competitive at this point." I think that was in reference to you saying that the team 90 miles up that wish they had some secondary and all that stuff.
And this is not to bash the Cowboys. Let's be honest. It wasn't so long ago that the Eagles were cutting their franchise quarterback that they thought had an aging defensive line.
Yep.
And had a guy, the heir apparent was a 2nd-round draft pick that was mostly thought highly as a project or a running quarterback.
100%.
And now they have a Super Bowl. So your fortunes could change really
quickly.
Really quick.
Yeah.
If you draft right and you do, and some things just, if we get a generational running back to fall in our lap.
You get one of the best running backs in the last decade. There's some change that goes to your team.
Fall in our lap. Can we? Yeah. I mean, I've been trying to think. of, and this go back to Saquon.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to think of a circumstance or situation
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of like this with the Saquon situation,
Yeah.
where they let a guy walk,
Mm-hmm.
got nothing in return.
Yeah.
Other than maybe the Herschel Walker trade.
I can't.
But the deal about the Herschel Walker trade, at least they got a player
Yeah.
in return for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
You didn't know that they were going to turn that into Alvin Harper and Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
And all those
Troy
guys.
Aikman. Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't know that. Well, we already had Troy.
Troy,
But,
yeah, okay.
But Alvin Harper and
Did Mike come after that, or was he already there?
Mike was already there.
Okay.
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 But I do think one of them was Darren Woodson and like I say, turn it into some sensational picks, right?
Yeah.
This situation was that they just let the guy walk.
There's nothing. Closest I can think is Randy Moss leaving the Raiders. I think that was like a 6th or 7th round pick when he went to
But at least
New
they
England.
got something.
They got something. That's what I'm
in
saying. They got something in exchange. It didn't pan out to be nothing. And then Randy goes and has a career year in New England. But at least they got something. Saquon he literally told him, yeah, go see what's out there and then make sure you're going to come back and talk to us, right? Well, you just told me you don't want me. Go see whatever your market is and then promise me you'll come back.
So that allowed that further emphasized another development that happened today, and I guess I'll go ahead and mention.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is the Bengals signing putting the tag on T. Higgins?
Yep.
And what that does is there obviously was tremendous interest in T. Higgins.
For sure.
And what this allows the Saints to do, not the Saints, the Bengals to do, and this is something interesting about the franchise tag.
Mm-hmm.
You sign a guy to the franchise tag, guess what? You don't have to pay him until this fall.
Yeah.
And you only have to pay him one time a week.
Yep.
You understand? You get to divide those, even though it's $26 million.
26.2 mil, yeah.
Yeah, you get to divide that up into 16 payments.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you're getting your TV revenue in the week before the season starts, and you're getting your weekly game revenue from concessions and all your other stuff. So they don't have to pay him while they don't have any income.
Yeah.
That's really smart. The second thing is, if someone really wants him bad enough, guess what he could do? They can
do a sign and trade.
They could do a trade.
Yep. They
can
definitely
do a
can do a
trade.
sign and trade. I'm interested to see how that, because I think they don't have to sign it until July 15th.
Yes.
They're still negotiating a deal that he could potentially sign and not even have to sign the franchise tag. They signed him twice, so you like them putting him on the tag. I like them bringing him back. I just don't know if
so you got to look at it like this. Riddle me this. Who benefits from him being signed to the same franchise tag?
T. Higgins.
No.
You don't think he benefits?
No, I think he benefits from a standpoint he was going to get paid anyway.
Yeah, he was.
He could probably end up with more money if he's traded.
That's what I was thinking.
The team doesn't, in my opinion, benefit because they have to take that $26 million salary cap hit all in 1 year. So it's not a salary cap friendly circumstance situation. The person who benefits, and I think the catalyst behind this, is Joe Burrow.
Because he gets his guy back?
Yeah, he gets his guy. Like if they let him walk, Joe Burrow is down a man. You know what I mean? And there's if you let him walk, you have to then replace him with somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and there's you know how the wide receiver market is. There's no guarantee you're going to get a T. Higgins in the first round.
Not at all.
Because, there are some CeeDee Lambs out there or whatever, but there are also some Jalen Reagors and some other guys out
Josh
there.
Doxson and
any
any other TCU receiver.
Yeah.
Jalen,
Justin Johnson.
And Quentin Johnson for the Chargers.
Yeah.
Hopefully Savion Williams not like that this year, but his draft stock fell a lot after the combine. But yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
I
there's
get
no
it.
guarantee just because you got a top. Even if you took another receiver with your top pick, doesn't mean you're gonna get a T. Higgins. So the person that benefits most, in my opinion, is Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, like I believe Joe Burrow was because from a business standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
you haven't even taken care of Jamar Chase yet.
Yeah.
You understand what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So but with them tagging Higgins, guess what? They now could use the cash that they were going to use maybe to re-sign Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
They could use that cash now to re-sign Chase, and then they got Higgins already locked up.
That's a lot of money allocated to the receiver room, though. That's the only reason I didn't like the deal. I like it for T. Higgins because, if like we said yesterday, barring injury, he's getting paid. You get to get $26 million this year, and you get to get a whole nother deal, whether that's from the Bengals or somebody else the following year with that signing bonus and all that. So he's going to be good as far as cash-wise. I don't like it because of allocating that many funds to the receiver because you have to pay Chase now. You already bet against him last year when he wanted his money and he sat out the whole offseason, and he went and won a Triple Crown. So now you got to back the Brinks truck up for him while you're also giving out $26 million to T. Higgins, and your defense is terrible.
Or now here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is what I'll say about this. If they do sign T. Higgins to a long-term deal, I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that the franchise tag is going to be used on Chase the next year.
I can't say I'd be shocked because we're talking about the Bengals.
So what I'm saying, like they're going to be in it for $50 million in the $50 to $60 million in this receiver room, no matter what. They're headed for that if they want to keep their quarterback happy. They don't have a defense of any consequence.
Mm-hmm.
The only chance they have to win is outscoring somebody.
That's the only chance.
They let Joe Mixon walk.
Yep.
And again, they missed the playoffs, and the Texans had a really good showing in the playoffs.
Yep.
You know, when you think about it, at the end of the day, Joe Burrow is the guy that benefits from having two high-caliber wide receivers. I don't think it does a lot for team building because I don't think you can win a Super Bowl with that kind of
that type of money going
offense
there.
and having your money allocated to wide receivers. But does it keep your quarterback on the Hall of Fame trajectory?
Yeah. That is true.
Absolutely.
It does indeed do that. And the Bengals, I can't see them being that competitive because of that. They put themselves in this situation. They could have paid T. Higgins last year. They could have paid Jamar Chase last year. But instead, they're going to have to pay higher numbers and higher numbers. That's why I really just hope they don't franchise tag Jamar Chase. If he does, he's out of there. And at that point, Joe Burrow is going to have decisions to make.
Whoever gets the long-term deal this year, whether it's be Jamar Chase or T. Higgins, even though they may play one more year together, but that's who they're choosing.
Oh, for sure. And this should be this should be the easiest choice of all time. Picking Chase over T. Higgins. That's not even this shouldn't even be a conversation. But I knew eventually you're gonna have to pick one of those guys. Just like you didn't pay Trey Hendrickson when he asked for a contract. He goes and leads the league in sacks. Now you can't pay him. It doesn't even make sense to pay him at this point because your defense is still gonna be bad and you still gotta figure out what's going on with your offense.
So the way I see it is by the math. He has to be equal to Justin Jefferson, and just say Justin is a little south of 35 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So let's put Chase at 35. So that's 3 for 105 will be the nuts and bolts of the contract.
Mm-hmm.
They tack 2 more years on there at, say, 25 a year, right? That gives you another 50. So I believe they want 5 for 55 is what the contract
for who's
for Chase.
For Chase.
5 for 55. Again, think about what I'm saying. 35 a year, the first 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Put $20 million on the two, or $25 million on the 2 back years, right? You get to stretch probably he's gonna want $80 million up front. I can't remember what
Justin Jefferson's got an $88 million guaranteed
88.
out of his, or fully guaranteed. Total guarantee was $110 million out of a $140 million contract.
Oh, so he had $110 million guarantee. He has 88 left.
Yeah, he's got 88 fully guaranteed. Yeah,
Left.
yeah.
He's already because some is all. So we're looking at.
I don't think Chase is taking anything under 40. I
So-
think Chase is going to
so-
go to about 40.
So in other words, they're gonna have to guarantee 120.
Yes.
Probably 115. 115.
Yeah, at the least 115. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
For
man,
sure.
They're gonna have to.
What are we doing playing with T.
But-
Higgins,
but-
man?
but-
Either trade him or let him walk.
But that substantiates the rumors that I'm seeing is that they're $50 million apart on the guaranteed money, which probably means Chase wants 150 guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals want to pay 100 guaranteed.
So they're trying to meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
In between that, yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense. Chase, Justin Jefferson's total contract was 140, and Chase just won a triple crown. He's not signing anything less than 160, probably 120 guaranteed. But his total contract value going to be somewhere around
But
$40 million a year.
how long was Justin Jefferson's contract?
Let's see if I can see the full contract. I think it was for, I want to say for 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
Oh, they didn't give him a long time either. He's gonna get all of that money.
Yeah. Jet is gonna get all that money. 140. His wasn't a super long term deal, just 35 a year. So that's
Yeah, he wants another bite at that apple.
yeah. That's only a 4-year deal. He only getting 35 a year. So they signed him to a 4-year 140.
Which is by the math, it's about 30 million. 30. Let me see.
That's 35 a year.
30, oh yeah,
That's 35 a year.
That's 35 a year.
So I think Chase is gonna be 160 at 40 a year. Is what Chase is gonna be at. Probably 120 guaranteed somewhere in there like that. So
he's probably not going to take a 5-year contract.
No,
I mean, they don't. See, it used to be that the receivers. Hey, speaking, we talking about
yeah,
receivers. Come on, in here.
yeah.
It used to be that back in the past we had
Yeah.
Dez took. I want to say Dez took a 5-year deal.
Mhm.
A few other receivers took a 5-year deal so they could stretch that bonus out over the course of the contract. As Wayne Walker, the Waco High, the WISD Hall of Fame member, steps into the
Two-time All-Southwest Conference.
Yeah. Let them know. Let them know.
Yeah, my bad. Texas Tech. Yeah. And but as I was saying, I didn't realize that Justin Jefferson took a 4-year contract, and that it didn't matter how much they paid him in the bonus, because he's gonna get all 4
He's
of
gonna
those
get
years.
all his money, and then he can re-up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at a young age. So
Yeah.
So you think Chase would be looking for something similar?
he's gonna be looking for more.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
what.
I said if Chase got 140 for 4 years, Jetta's got 140 for 4 years. I think Chase is going to be somewhere around 160 4 years, probably 120 million signing bonus.
I say 150. I say 150 around that area. He's gonna 10 up him.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Well, the issue is, I think that they say the Bengals are on the guaranteed money. They're $50 million apart. That's what I've been reading.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking that the guaranteed money would be around $100 million.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
But it was 110 for Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, Jefferson got 110.
Where he was gonna be
120. See, that's what I said. 120.
So that's what.
120.
It's gonna go up.
Yeah.
It's always gonna go up.
But it
Yeah.
really, and what I was saying when I looked at the Justin Jefferson contract, the guaranteed money matters. But he's even going to get that 4th year of that deal. They're not going to be looking to get rid of him for. They're going to look at that 4th year as a bargain, depending on where the market is going.
Exactly. Because then you got like Malik Neighbors that's gonna be coming up. You got other guys. The guy in Houston, Nico
Collins, yeah. Nico Collins,
that's right. He's up because he's only a 2nd rounder.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was.
So-
we got him in the 2nd round. Yeah.
So they can offer him a long.
Well, we paid him. We got him on a deal before. He took. I don't remember how many years it was, but he signed a $72 million deal last year.
Okay,
52 guaranteed.
Okay.
Because he still.
So they got him early.
They got in early and got him on a cheaper deal, thinking that was a one-off.
3rd year of his rookie deal.
Well, no, they got him in his fourth year. It was his last year on his deal, and they re-upped him in the middle of that year. 72 mil, 52. It was in the middle of him having a good season, but he got hurt, so his numbers didn't skyrocket.
Yeah,
and then this year he came back
a lot more.
Oh man,
Yeah,
he should get
they got a value doing it.
Exactly,
Yeah,
doing
they
it
definitely
early.
got a
And
value
that's
for
what
it.
you get for doing it early.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
lessons to JJ.
Yeah. They
Well, we were talking about T. Higgins got
getting
his
tagged again.
Yeah, he got the franchise tag. This is his second year. He got he's gonna be 26 million.
Yeah,
26 million.
26. Yeah.
He's gonna make, I think what they said, 48 over 2 years. That's not a bad contract.
That's not bad at all. That's what
Not
I'm
at
saying.
all.
You can still re-up. And then, now they can't franchise tag you no more after this.
Really?
It's his
Yeah.
second year.
Yeah.
So you only can take 2.
Two. That's it.
I think that's what happened with Kirk.
That's
he took
what
those
happened
two,
to Kirk Cousins.
and then he got that $84 million guaranteed from the Vikings
Mm-hmm.
after that 2 years. So
After 2 years,
T. Higgins, Kirk Cousins done showed everybody the blueprint with the franchise tag. People are going to
Yeah.
signing up. If you
Yeah,
think you can stay healthy, they're going to signing up for that franchise.
Now I'll say this. I'll ask Walker if he agree with this. But T. Higgins, as a number 2 wide receiver, it's the best case scenario.
That's the best case scenario ever. I take the franchise. I sign that tender and then go back into free agency next year, depending on what I do. My own the field ability, go out and catch me some passes, go out and catch me about 60, 70 passes, 10 touchdowns. Man, I'm the hottest thing on the market next year. And then I can get what Justin Jefferson. I can get what Justin Jefferson get. I can't get what Jamar Chase is getting.
No.
But you're gonna go somewhere and you're gonna be a number 1 receiver and you're gonna get over $100 million.
Oh yeah. Well, see, I think that's the only, that's the only thing coming up next with Higgins. He has to, if they're trying to work out a long-term deal, the deal is what kind of long-term deal are they working out? Are they gonna work on a 3-year, $75 million deal, or do they work on a longer-term deal than that?
They're gonna have to work on the 3-year deal. They're gonna have to try to get it done in 3 years.
Whatever amount of money they're gonna pay him.
Right. And I say probably 3 years, about 80-something million.
Okay.
I'm thinking around in that area. You can't go out and pay him. You can't justify paying him $35 million as a number 2 receiver.
You essentially have to get rid of Jamar if you do that.
Yeah. You
can't do that.
You have an A1 and an AB player.
Yeah.
That's what you have. A A1 and an A2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't justify paying him what you're gonna pay your A1.
Wait, let me check my theory out. Well, my theory is the Bengals don't want to franchise T. Higgins. They
won't
don't.
give him because it helps their cap.
But and from a business standpoint, what they've done in the past is they let guys walk.
Yeah, they have.
But Joe Burrow makes them tag them because that gives Joe Burrow another year of having 2 top wide receivers to continue to build his Hall of Fame resume, and in hopes that the team will work out something where he could continue to retain him.
I think the main reason that they are signing him is because of Joe Burrow. They spoke out
for sure,
saying, hey, we need this guy. We can't let this guy walk. If we want to be successful, we got to have these 2 guys on the team. So at that point, anybody else, they can let go. He don't care about it. He caring about the offense, and he caring about, his reputation, his legacy as a quarterback, and them getting it done. They arguably the best offense in the league last year.
Yeah.
If you want to look at it, they just didn't have a defense. They were scoring 28, 30 points a game, and they were still losing. They scored 38 points one game and lost.
They scored 40 twice against the
and lost.
Ravens and lost.
And lost, right, yeah.
That's because your defense giving up 50-something points. So T. Higgins on the franchise tag. We'll see if this is going to be some type of sign and trade type of deal. Are they going to work out a deal with T. Higgins? Or are they just going to rock out this last year on the deal and decide to move on from there? Go ahead.
I just want to ask Walker, do you see a way that they can keep both wide receivers over the course of the next 3 to 5 years?
I say the next 3 years. They have to. If you want to make your fan base happy, you're going to have to keep. And these are guys that they drafted. These ain't guys that they got in free agency. Your own players, the players that you draft, and the players that you bring along, you want to make them happy. You want to take care of those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been with the organization, so if you want to make your fan base happy, and you want to win, and it's all about winning in the NFL, you have to make sure that you give Jamar 4 or 5 year deal, and then that you give Higgins a 3-year deal at least.
Yeah, I agree. I think they have to keep those guys because they don't have anything else on the horizon right now. There's not like, oh, we got a young defense that's building.
$120 million on the cap
For just
receivers.
receiver and quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't think it's going to work like that. I think that they'll have to work something out. So we'll see. They put him on the franchise for now, but I think it's some more moves coming up in the near future. Folks, we got to take a quick break to come back and touch the top of the hour. When we come back, still got to talk about the news. Kyrie Irving out for the season. Still got to talk about some more NFL news. Dallas Cowboy just got $80 million. So we got Rocky here. We'll go ahead and talk about it to see was that the right move for Jerry Jones and for the new regime of the Cowboys to be able to make. So stay tuned and stay locked in. We'll be right back after this short break on Centex Primetime.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas and a Centex Sports Network supporter. Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
Hey guys, it's Rocky and Keisha, and at Prosperity Tax Service, we're all about convenience. We get it. Life is busy. Your time is valuable. That's why we've streamlined the entire process to be as hassle-free as possible.
No more sifting through piles of paperwork or spending hours at an office. With Prosperity Tax Service, you can handle your taxes from the comfort of your own home.
Your financial data is in safe hands with us through our secure and user-friendly customer portal at prosperitytax.com. It's your one-stop shop for all things tax-related. Log in anytime from anywhere, whether it's from your couch or on the go.
We are experienced tax professionals, well-versed in handling a variety of tax situations. Receive genuine assistance and competitive pricing from real tax professionals who've seen it all.
We're marking 2 decades as a community-based enterprise here in Waco, Texas. So call us at 254-235-5662 or log on to www.prosperitytax.com. Thanks, guys.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
Hello?
Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing, girl. Trying to decide where I'm gonna find a birthday gift for my boyfriend.
Oh, that's easy. Go over to the hat stand at 900 East Waco Drive.
What do they carry?
They carry men's urban wear, jerseys, hats. They even do custom embroidery. You could get his name on a hat.
What? Really?
Yeah, you can even get a custom birthday shirt made as well.
I'm on my way. Where did you say it was again?
900 East Waco Drive, right there next to the Goodwill.
Okay.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Prime Time, hour number 2 here of the show today. Happy Fat Tuesday to everybody out there. I already shouted out all my Louisiana people. It's Mardi Gras week. Alabama people as well. You know, they the ones claim that they got
day to sin, huh?
Yeah. Oh, fat man. I wish I was in Louisiana right now. Give me some crawfish right now. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't eat the King's cake. I ain't doubting none of y'all. I don't know if y'all get with the King's cake and all that stuff. And it's the cake that they bring out in Mardi Gras. It's like a bunch of different flavors and stuff put into one. I'm not a big fan of it.
Well, they canceled the parade today.
Yeah.
The weather.
Yeah, the weather was bad, so they canceled the parade for Fat Tuesday. But I know y'all still eating good down there, so I'm jealous of y'all for that. Y'all still getting the crawfish, y'all still getting the shrimp, all that stuff. So shout out to y'all, man. Want to thank everybody for tuning in with us here today on Centex Sports Network over on YouTube. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. That's Centex Sports Network / Centex Sports TV over on YouTube. Also, we're live on Facebook, we're live on Instagram, and we're live on Twitter /X, whichever one you want to call it, at Centex Sports Networks on all those platforms. You can go on there and check us out right here Monday through Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m. Well, folks, we just got done wrapping up talking about in hour number 1, and I'll get Wayne's opinion on this as he joins us here in hour number 2, talking about the Jets releasing Davante Adams. We talked about the Saquon Barkley contract extension, setting a new record for NFL running backs. The highest paid running back in NFL history is Saquon Barkley, right after he wins the Super Bowl and could have probably broke the record that Eric Dickerson said about 30 years ago. We talked a little bit about the Jets and what's their plan going to be for the NFL draft. Are they going to move up? Are they going to try to find a veteran quarterback? We talked about how the Giants have no idea what they're doing at all, as usual. So hopefully there's no Giants fans on here, but that's just the usual with them. Wayne, since we got you on here, what do you think about the news about Davante Adams getting let go out of New York? 'Cause we just talked about yesterday how we thought they were going to find a trade partner for him, especially as the draft is upcoming. Usually when guys find trade partners for contracts they're trying to let go.
Oh, man, they did themselves an injustice, because a guy like Davante, you can get something for him, and that's what you want to do. You want to get something, at least a 3rd round, 4th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
But they did him a favor in the long run, because now he can go out and he can just renegotiate, and he had a guaranteed contract, so he's still getting paid. He's going to get paid regardless.
Yeah.
And the fact that they let him go, they did him they did a good deed for him, because now he can go renegotiate and he can go play for whoever he wants to. He's a free agent. So that's the good news about not being traded, opposed to being traded.
Now, I think one of the things too, by the collective bargaining agreement, you can't get paid by more than one team at a time. So if he is able to sign a contract, the salary cap hit still works, but they don't have to pay him.
They don't have to pay him. Yeah,
they don't have to pay him. So,
right.
And to be honest with you, if they cut him, someone probably could pick him up on waivers if they chose to. But I'm sure he's due a roster bonus here pretty soon.
Yeah. March 15th is when a lot of those guys' roster bonus is coming up.
I think that's what they were hoping they could probably avoid paying roster bonus. But I'm sure Davante's gonna wait it out.
Well, no
and
doubt.
get his bonus from them.
He gonna wait it out, get his bonus, and then he'll make a decision. Because if you pick him up on waivers, you would have to pick him up within 48 hours. And I think that's gonna go and pass, because if you pick him up on waivers, then you have to honor that contract that he has.
$28 million
So
that he was owed this
That-
year. So
yeah.
$28 million is a lot to pick off somebody off waivers. Yeah.
So I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think he's gonna get picked up on waivers. I think he'll wait till after March 15th, get his money, and then he'll be able to sign with another team if he's smart. That's why I said they did themselves a disservice by not trading him and getting some value for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would have at least third, fourth round pick. I would have got.
Yeah.
They need as much help as they can get anyway.
Exactly.
You know, and you cutting a guy, all pro type of receiver, probably the number one receiver on the market now. You know,
for sure.
I would take him over T. Higgins any day.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah, for sure.
I would.
You think you like T. Higgins over
You know,
at this point in their career?
Well,
I
so
was like.
put my GM hat on. Having to sign an aging player to a contract, I would rather sign T. Higgins. If I have to give somebody a 3-year contract, I'd much rather give T. Higgins a 3-year contract than Devontae Adams.
Okay. Devontae Adams ain't in his 30s yet.
Of
I
course.
think he's 30, 31.
31?
Just turned 30, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, Walker, is that T. Higgins, you talking about a player that's, I think T. Higgins, him and T. Higgins like 26, 27 years old.
Yeah.
You get a 27-year-old player, you sign him for 3 years.
Adams 32. Just turned
Now-
32, yeah.
Now, the dilemma you have with T. Higgins, if you sign him, are you gonna sign him to a number 1 contract or
That's
a
gonna
number
be
2
the deal.
contract?
That's the deal.
You know
Yeah.
Devontae's a number 1.
You know he's
And
a
so
number
that-
1.
but
Yeah,
you don't know
yeah.
if T. Higgins is
We
the
don't.
number 1. So that's
We
what
don't.
that's what you have to be mindful of when you're making that signing.
And I'm looking at probably top 3 best hands in the whole league in Devontae Adams.
For sure.
yeah.
And route runner.
And route running, yeah.
man.
So that's my opinion about him over T. Higgins, because I know he is a reliable receiver.
So this will be funny, but do you follow him? Do you, as Devontae Adams, do you continue to follow Aaron Rodgers around?
I don't know. Now
That's
you
got
now you don't want to do that. Now you want to pick and choose where you want to go, and now you want to try to compete for a championship, for a Super Bowl type of deal.
It's the one thing that he hasn't got. He's got all the accolades. He's got the all-pro team.
And now you want to see if you can go somewhere like Kansas City that's going to be in it.
So
Buffalo is going to be in play.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Baltimore might be in play.
Houston will be in play.
Houston will be in play,
Yeah.
because I don't think they'll
then
re-sign
you definitely got
Stephon
to.
Diggs.
If you say that, then you definitely got to put. If they get rid of Cooper Kupp, then you got to put the Rams in play, and probably now that Debo's gone, you got to put.
That's what I'm saying.
San Francisco in play.
Because San Francisco reportedly taking calls already for Brandon Ayuk. They're not happy with that contract and with him being
no
hurt
doubt, no
right
doubt.
after they gave him $40 million a year, $35 a year.
Tie your knee up and then you out for the whole year.
Yeah,
No doubt. I think Chicago gonna be in play, because you have an offense coordinator like Ben Johnson. He gonna get guys to come and play for him, because he throws the ball, and then you got like what is it, the receiver that they had in Detroit.
Oh yeah,
14,
Amon-Ra, St. Brown,
St. Brown. You got he catching 100 passes a year.
120.
I mean,
130,
I mean, I would go play for a guy like Ben Johnson. If I'm a receiver and I'm in open market, I mean, I would have to go and visit this guy and talk to him and say, hey, what can you offer me? What can I do? What kind of relationship can we have as a head coach, a receiver? What can we do? You don't have the quarterback you want there, but I think the system, that's a system that he created, and I think any quarterback can be successful in it.
Yeah, I really do think that too. I think Ben Johnson and they got some guys out there, the DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. Hopefully they'll get some more production. But like you said, you watch what Amon-Ra was able to do. He went from a 4th round guy to a guy catching 100 balls every single year, all-pro guy every single year. So there's no reason that a guy like that shouldn't want to go out there and play with him.
Anyone would love to have Devontae Adams on their team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Washington has enough money to bring him in.
Yeah,
You know?
They got Debo.
But just think you can never have enough talent.
yeah. You got Debo in there because they're not really paying anybody else in that offense. Brian Robinson's on a rookie deal. They got Austin Eckler he's making a little bit of money.
He's the only one.
Yeah, he's the only one.
And then the Cowboys said they looking for a number 2.
Go throw Tay Adams out there in Frisco.
But I think that'll be a conflict of interest.
Yeah. With Devontae
Jerry
Adams
ain't
going
paying nobody, man.
No. Not what Devontae Adams finna ask for, especially if you got to go down there to Dallas. So since we're talking about Dallas and handing out money, Osa Odigizua cashes in on a 4-year, $80 million deal with the Dallas Cowboys. The deal includes $58 million guaranteed, $20 million signing bonus for Odigizua. Now, this is, you said in the break there, Rocky, is this what D tackles are going for now? And I do agree.
Get the pads on, baby.
Exactly,
I'd like to agree that Odigizua was one of the better players for the Cowboys last year. But playing defensive tackle and seeing the way that teams chose to not throw the ball and strictly just run the ball on the Cowboys last year would make me have reservations about paying one of the main guys in that defensive tackle line $80 million.
Well, maybe they double teamed him, Jay.
Yeah, maybe I was watching it wrong. Maybe they double teamed him.
Well, this is
they went to Mozzie's side.
This is my deal with defensive linemen.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like paying defensive linemen who are not all pros or Pro Bowl. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, there hadn't been a lot of history of D linemen going from team to team and being extremely productive, being a Pro Bowl caliber player on another team.
Unless you Reggie White.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so here's my deal.
I agree.
You signed whatever his Digizua.
Yeah.
his name, whatever his name is. You signed him to a $58 million deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how much they paying Jalen Carter, and I just looked. They're paying him like $6 million.
He's still on a rookie deal, though.
I know. Why can't we get a rookie?
Yeah, that's true.
They tried, and with Mozzie Smith.
Well, you hadn't drafted well.
They tried with Mozzie Smith, and it just didn't work out.
You haven't drafted well.
Now,
you went and got Mozzie Smith, and they said he was supposed to shore up all those holes.
I also would have waited to see what Williams got from the Eagles, if anything.
Milton Williams.
Yeah.
But
that's the problem. You just can't sit back and wait, though.
Well, he can't go nowhere until the 12th, right?
Right.
Until free agency starts. Yeah,
you're right.
That was kind of, and Stephen Jones came out, I think, last week and said that the Cowboys are going to be aggressively selective in their free agency pursuit. These words that they just throw out. Aggressively selective.
We've heard that before.
Or selectively aggressive, whichever way that he put it.
We heard that last year.
Yeah, he did.
When Derrick Henry was right there in Dallas.
He said we're going, last year, Jerry Jones said we're going all in.
So that's the other deal. Why are we paying him as much as Saquon Barkley is getting paid?
What are you going to pay Rico down?
One thing we know about Jerry Jones is he loves his guys, and he is not willing to. He'll give them some money when their contract comes up if they're his guys. He likes the homegrown talent. Odigizua is a guy they drafted 4 years ago. I mean, I would have thought it was strange if they franchise tagged him. I think it's very strange that they gave him a 4-year, $80 million deal.
Well, if they were franchise tagging him, I think he would have probably got more.
He would have got more, but at least it's just for a year, and we can figure it out. You just gave him 80, and it's like, okay, ain't Michael Parsons' contract finna be up? Ain't DeRon Bland's contract finna be up? I thought DeRon Bland would have been. I wouldn't have paid him $80 million, but I thought he would have been more deserving $80 million. He made first team All Pro.
Right.
So obviously we're picking up Michael Parsons' 5th-year option.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he's gonna want to negotiate his money going to his 5th year, like every rookie does.
$24 million.
Yeah.
And he's gonna ask for 30 or 40
and he's gonna want 100
next year
up front.
Yeah, Yep.
Yeah,
But good thing they got old Diggy Zua showed up on the 80 million. You know, that's just one of those deals that's kind of confused when I seen it. I read it a couple times and was like,
he's an impact player. Is what he is. An impact player is, Parsons.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get a huge
and he
contract.
deserves whatever number he asked for. Honestly, this is a guy that's was first team All Pro 3 out of his first 4 years in the league. So he's deserving of whatever money he asked for. Diggy Zua, shout out to his agent and whoever was able to get in there and get that contract done. And reportedly, the Cowboys are going to restructure CeeDee Lamb's contract, which I thought was pretty interesting. I don't know if there's some type of backroom deals going on or something. Maybe Jared got something else for him lined up, but he's renegotiating his contract. That's going to free up an extra $20 million in cap space.
Well, he's just going to give it to him in signing bonus.
Yeah, okay.
So that's how that works. We'll
the one thing. So the one thing about the Cowboys is they had some cap money left over from last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a time period where you could retroactively pay bonus money. So maybe that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, they're going
pay
to
him the bonus money, take the 20 off the cap hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
That makes sense. So see, they're freeing up a little bit of money there. Still got some things they have to address. Still got some players they got to resign. Like I said, Michael Parsons is already in the bag. I feel like they're going to pay him. They got decisions to make on a guy like Deron Bland. They got decisions to make on a guy like Trayvon Diggs. Do they keep him in there in Dallas? Because I think, just my opinion, I think last year was kind of a year where you see like maybe we don't go forward with the rest of this $100 million we got in Trayvon Diggs' contract, because when he's not getting interceptions, sometimes he's a liability out there on the field. He's not. He's
have we already
cut
DeMarcus Lawrence?
They will.
I think they're going to, but they haven't yet.
Will.
They haven't yet though. I thought that was like going to be one of the first things.
I thought we would see that today.
Yeah.
Or yesterday, and then their best player is their kicker, and they're going to have to reach a long-term deal with him.
Brandon Aubrey. You ain't lying. You are not lying.
I mean, they got some guys and some things they need to figure out, but Deron Bland, like you said, I thought he'd be first. I thought he'd be before the defensive tackles. Yeah. But DeMarcus Lawrence has to go. Then Zach Morton retired. So what do you do with that money?
Yeah. And then Zach Martin retired too. So now there's more holes you have to fill in on your offense. I mean, really the only good offensive lineman I think they have out there is Tyler Smith. Now, I don't know how y'all feel about Terrence Steele and Cooper Beebe and the rest of those guys.
From Texas Tech, and I still wouldn't trust him. I still wouldn't trust him, man.
That's how you know.
One of my alumni. You know what I'm saying? But I don't trust him. And he got paid.
Yeah, he did. Terrence Steele did get money. And I think Cooper Beebe's contract is going to come up soon too. So I have to make a decision with him at the center spot. Left tackle, they allocated a first-round pick to Tyler Guyton last year. That showed he ended up getting benched by the end of the year. He couldn't even finish the games with how bad he was playing at the first-round pick. So it's a lot of holes to be filled, but thankfully they were able to shore up and get old Diggy Zua back in the fold so they can have an all-pro caliber defensive tackle coming in at the same time with Tim. Look, the Cowboys, I ain't going to stay on them too much. Said already came on here and said and start talking his noise about the Cowboys in the comments earlier on YouTube. So I ain't gonna stick on the Cowboys, but I will go to one of their rivals, I guess you could say, in the NFC East, and that's the New York Giants. There's been a lot of talk about the New York Giants and how they're going to approach this offseason. In the first hour, me and you were just laughing about the clip from the Hard Knocks offseason of last year with them deciding in real time not to re-sign Saquon Barkley. He ends up going to the Eagles.
Well, they technically didn't have a chance to sign Saquon Barkley because they let him go to the Eagles before they talked money with him.
That's when they decided.
Like that was
right.
That's when they decided. When they let him go is when they decided.
And when you're making a decision about your family and your future and your family, then
you've been in that situation when a team decide they're not going to let you out the building, what does that feel like? Do they put more pressure or they keep stacking
I was just telling Jalen yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my first year in San Diego. I go out and I play. I was supposed to be on IR all year. And I end up playing.
Mm-hmm.
I end up outplaying a lot of guys making the team, and they end up starting the last 7 games of the season. And so I get hurt my second year.
Mm-hmm.
So at this time it was something called NFL free agency, but San Diego was like, hey, we want you, we need you, we want you to come back, but we're gonna leave you unprotected. That's because we want to re-sign you, and we're gonna sign you into something big. But then I talking to my agent and not thinking with my heart. I wasn't thinking with my heart. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking money.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to think with your heart, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to family and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And that was my family. That was my football home. They gave me that opportunity. They gave me that chance. And so I went to visit Atlanta, which was a run and shoot team, wanted me bad. They offered me like 75 up front and about 280 a year.
Mm-hmm.
I went to go visit Detroit, was another run and shoot team. So they said they would match it.
Yeah.
Then I go visit Minnesota. So Minnesota say, hey, we'll give you 150 up front, and then we're gonna give you a 350,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first year. And the second year I would have made 400,000. So I'm thinking,
Yeah.
150. And then I go back and I talk to San Diego, and San Diego says, don't worry about all that. You got a long career here, and you'll play a long time. We love you. You're a part of us. You're a part of this organization. You're a part of this team. You're a part of this family. But we can only pay you 70, and we can only give you like we'll go 300,000, but we can only pay. And I chose to go for the 150 and the 350.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just you make the wrong decision. When you're young, you think about money more than you think about the situation, and I didn't think about the situation, and I took the money.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it doesn't always work out that way.
Yeah, and I also say, Welcome in, you talked to great lengths about this. They had plans for you that they didn't disclose to you during the deal about them wanting you to return punts.
Yeah. They wanted me to return punts. They wanted me to work on.
They didn't let him know that until he signed.
But
he would have told him.
I'm not returning punts.
Yeah.
I'd have went somewhere else because I knew if I went to Atlanta, I wasn't gonna have to return punts.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Detroit, I wasn't gonna have to return punts. I go to Minnesota, they kicking the ball out the stadium and it's coming back in, and I'm not. When I was in college, we had an all-American punt returner called Tyrone Thurman. I never had to return. I returned kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
But you finna put me up under the ball, make you return punts, and I didn't want to do that. So
that's a whole nother marketing
whole different thing.
strategy.
Walker told me the story. He's talking about, hey, I'm a wide receiver. I don't return.
Yeah.
punts.
That's what I told him.
That was a 3-year NFL player.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I don't return punts. I'm sorry, I don't return punts. Well, you don't have to return punts here. Well, in retrospect, I should have just went on and returned punts and did what the team. So, because you got to do what's right for the team.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna be, at the time we had Anthony Carter and Chris Carter.
Chris Carter.
Oh yeah.
At receiver. So I'm gonna be. They brought me in to be the third receiver, slot receiver, and that's what they brought me in for. And
to replace an aging Leo Lewis.
Yeah, exactly. So Leo Lewis was returning punts at that time. So they
wanted to cut Leo Lewis.
And have you come in as that replacement.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I mean, the situation when you make a decision about family and you're thinking about money and this that, and that, you got to get in a comfortable position to where you can do both of them.
Yeah.
Because if I'd have stayed in San Diego, that's still enough money. You know? I mean, money. But I mean, that's how that's.
But like a guy like Saquon, well, I'm looking at it from the Giants' perspective.
But the Giants' perspective is he wanted to stay there. He wanted to be there.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to become rich. He wanted to be there. That was the team that gave him. That's why I say that's the team that gave him a chance. And he fought tooth and nail to try to stay there. I don't care what y'all offer me. At that time, the running back position was devalued at that time anyway, so you didn't have to sign him to a big contract. You just had to give him a little bit. And they wasn't willing to do that. They wasn't willing to do that because they had just signed Daniel Jones, and they saying Daniel
Over
Jones is our future. So, I mean, you pick and choose your poison.
Well, when both of them were up for free agency, they chose to franchise Saquon and then sign Daniel Jones to a long-term, $160 million deal, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah.
So
$160 million.
that to me that was the first error.
That was the
Anybody
start
with
of
eyes
everything.
could see that the reason why Daniel Jones was effective was because of Saquon Barkley. You know,
But that goes back to it. Like, you just have to stay where you're comfortable, and that's what I chose not to do. Saquon wanted to stay where he was comfortable at, where he had uprooted and took his family, and that he was a part of that organization. They drafted him, they gave him that opportunity. He wanted to be there. They didn't have to give him much.
No, he's from Jersey too.
Yeah,
He wants to stay out there.
So
so I understand what you're saying, but they willfully, him and the agent had a deal where they were gonna get a chance to match any offer that he got. To me, that was stupid.
that's when
you
I
were
said
gonna-
they made the decision to let him go.
Exactly.
If you were gonna match
Right.
if you were gonna match any offer, then why you just don't give him the best offer you can give him?
exactly,
they're the
he
Giants.
would have took it. He
Exactly.
would have took it. He would have took it because he wanted to.
He could have
stay
left
there.
twice. He
Yeah.
could have left
And
twice.
you know,
He
Saquon
chose to stay.
probably went in there went to Philadelphia, being honest, probably said, "Hey,
If they offer me, I'm going back to the Giants.
yeah," and they said, "We're not letting you leave."
Yeah.
we gonna get, because I think they gave him, even though he signed a deal worth like $28 million, they gave him 20.
Yeah, straight right up front on signing.
Yeah, his signing bonus was $20 million. So
But the Giants said they wasn't matching anything, too. They was like, well, let him go. We'll be okay without him.
well,
I don't think they wanted.
wait, that's not what Shane told the owner.
Yeah,
Shane
that's not what he told the owner.
Shane told the owner that he's gonna come back and let us counteroffer. That's what he told the owner.
Oh,
Not
okay.
unless he lied to the owner.
I think they said that, but at that point, Saquon. I mean, you could the whole conversation was
I don't think
documented.
Philly was gonna let him out the building because
No,
I
they
think
wasn't.
Philly saw him as the piece
That
that
they
they
were
needed.
missing. Yeah.
And Saquon, once they told him that, I think that's when he realized he wasn't going back to New York.
And it was so stupid on the Giants' part
Oh
because
man!
it's a division rival. And it's your best player. It's your best
As soon
player.
as you heard
That's
he was
your
in the
best
running,
player.
you supposed to
Yeah.
up the money.
And
As soon as you even heard Philly in
that's
the
what
running for him.
That's what the owner said.
Mm-hmm.
Like the owner said, just what you said.
Yeah.
And this guy with a shit-eating grin on his face was like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, he had his hands in
running backs aren't working. You know, do we want to invest that much in a run? I'm like,
him and
man,
Brian
are you
Daboll.
Yeah,
I said,
Dayball,
man,
and that was a problem. His cockiness
Yeah.
and saying that he can operate an offense without Saquon, and he can operate a offense with Daniel Jones as
Yeah.
his quarterback.
Yep.
Because it was his system. He was so cocky, and I don't understand
That's what
why
led
he's
to his
still a
demise.
coach. Yeah,
That was the most shocking part of all the coaching firings that Sohan and the GM and Brian Daboll both kept their jobs in New York after publicly going on television, and we got to see you guys be dumb on national television, and then it didn't work out.
Louis Riddick, reposted that clip. And I didn't realize, and it was funny, that he reposted the clip of them discussing Saquon on Twitter. And I didn't realize, till I looking in the comments, that he had interviewed for that GM position at the Giants.
Louis Riddick did, yeah.
Yeah.
And they didn't give it to him. They didn't give it to him.
Now he was trolling. I didn't realize he was trolling, but you know, a lot of the other people in the comments realized that he was trolling. And the guy, like I told you, they say, guy was crying. You crying because you crying. You still crying because you didn't get that position. Then he posted the gif of him crying, the crying baby. But the point that I don't think they got was that this is the guy you hired. It don't matter now.
It don't matter.
It don't matter, yeah.
This is what y'all chose. This is what y'all
This is the
chose.
poison you picked, man.
Yeah, this is the poison you picked.
This is the
With
poison.
Brian Daboll, with Joe Schoen, all of them.
And I'm saying, like, I'm not an NFL insider, NFL. You got friends that are scouts and all that kind of stuff. But anybody with eyes could see
Come on, man.
that you needed Saquon on your team.
And that Daniel Jones wasn't the guy. I think those two decisions should have been very easy
for
to
your
make,
fan base just to sell tickets.
if nothing else.
This guy has been the best player on your team ever since he came into the league. Since he drafted him.
That's the owner's words. You just took the owner's words right there.
Yeah.
And you, let me ask you this. Like, would you rather have that guy, an owner who is honest with you, lets you know what's going on, but still lets you make your own decision? Or would you like a guy like Jerry? I swear I like a I don't believe if we had Saquon, Jerry would let Saquon out.
Not even a chance.
That stays at the picture.
So you like Woody Johnson? The way he,
I don't like Woody Johnson. He don't stay out the
picture. Yeah, Woody Johnson don't stay out the picture.
Too.
Woody Johnson is involved.
He didn't put his feet. He didn't put.
They say he got his son making decisions.
Yeah. Woody Johnson tripping, but the Giants owner. I don't know if I will go that far.
You talking about the Mariners?
Yeah, you talking about the Mariners? Okay, yeah.
Wellington Mariners.
Yeah. So this is the type of owner that I like. You hire the GM to do a job, okay? And so you're going to go sit and listen to him and let him do his job. And then you can go to the owner and say, hey, well, we really want this guy. We think this guy is the final piece of the puzzle. I mean, but it's going to take a big contract to get him. Are you going to sign off on that? And the guy just checks it. And we got it done. That's the type of owner I like.
A money guy.
I like a guy like that. I like a guy like that. I like a guy like the guy in Kansas City.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, he stay out the way completely.
He live in Dallas.
That's my friend Eddie Anderson. They went to high school together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he always at Chiefs games. But I like guys like that. I like the guys like in San Francisco. You know, just stay out the way. You don't even know who he is. You don't even hear about it.
Mm-mm. Only person you talk to is the GM.
But what about when a guy like that hires a guy like Joe Shane, who says, I can get Devin Singletary and a rookie to equal up to Saquon Barkley?
You fired.
It's that simple. It's that simple.
I don't understand why Louis Riddick getting a GM.
It's that simple. You fire him. Because that didn't make any sense.
The one thing about some GMs is they got business degree. They go for all this sports stuff. They go to school, but they never played the game. Louis Riddick played the game.
Yeah.
John Lynch played the game.
Yep.
You know, Will McClay played the game. He's in Dallas, but he don't get a say so. Yeah. I played against
Ozzie Newsome, one of the legendary GMs.
One of the best GMs of all time.
He played the game.
Yeah.
Talent recognized talent a lot of times.
Yeah.
Game recognized game.
Game recognized game. That's what we always say, right?
So you saying you're not sure about Joe Schoen's football career?
No. I would have hired Louis Riddick.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. That was just that was probably the worst decision.
And it was on TV, man.
Yeah, that's what made it so much worse. It was on TV.
This is just like the basketball Luka Kyrie deal.
Yeah.
I mean the Luka AD deal.
Man. This is just like it.
Yeah, the fan base is the same. It's similar situations, man. And then you put your trust in somebody that has a history of getting hurt, which Luka does too. But you think about Kyrie has a history of getting hurt too. He's hurt now.
First thing I said when they made the trade. Your whole team has a history of getting hurt now.
Yeah. I mean,
and see, here's the deal: when people say Luka has a history of getting hurt, I'll say this: Luka answers the bell hurt though.
Yeah,
always
he plays. He's been hurt in every single playoffs, and he hadn't missed no game.
But this is gonna revive his career.
Yeah,
because now he's going to see and see what makes LeBron great. So if he picks up those habits and his workout regimen, man, this guy gonna be a beast, man.
Yeah. No, let me pick up on that. Just on that conversation, we said the news earlier. Kyrie Irving tore his ACL, out for the season. I mean, it was one of those moments when I was watching the game, like you almost get chills seeing him on the ground, and then him getting up to go to that free throw line because he's got tears coming down and stuff. And at that point, everyone in the stadium knew he's out for the season. We know this is a real. At first they said sprained knee.
I'm gonna tell you.
I said, man, this dude couldn't even walk.
I'm gonna tell you like Stephen A. I'm gonna quote Stephen A. what he said about the Cowboys. They got a black cat running in the organization.
Hey, man. It left
cat running around that
It left Arlington and came to downtown Dallas.
Yeah.
It left Arlington.
As a man that tore both his ACL, do you know something is wrong when you tear that ACL?
You know something is wrong.
He knew immediately. He
Yeah,
stayed
you
there.
know it.
He knew immediately.
I felt I was running a touchdown. I was in Arizona and we was on grass and I'm running reverse and I hit the guy. There was one guy in between me. And it's just me and him and I hit him and he fell down and I took 2 steps and I fell down. I'm running for a touchdown. But I knew immediately that my knee was tore up. Like, man, it ain't no doubt about it.
And that's what it looked like with Kyrie last night. With his,
It was just awkward. I could just
Yeah.
feel it. Ugh. Damn, I can't even. I tried to. I stepped out with that right, then I hit that left one time, and then next time I hit that right again, and I just fell down because I already.
You
I
had no
knew.
strength in.
Nothing. It was like Jello,
Wow.
like that.
Damn.
So yeah, I mean that's how it
Yeah.
feels.
Yeah.
But Kyrie was determined to take those free throws.
Oh yeah. We all know who his idol is and whose mentor was with Kobe, and we seen Kobe do the same thing when he tore it. Now Kobe just off in the head because Kobe walked himself to the free throw line
but you
with his
gotta-
Achilles hanging off the bone.
You got to make your own history though. You
Yeah,
have to make
yeah,
your own
yeah,
history.
yeah.
And to me, that wasn't even justified. Just go on to the locker room. You didn't tore your ACL. I seen it when it happened. I said, that's torn ACL.
Yeah. As soon as I seen the replay and seen the way that his knee
already
shook,
knew. I said, it's torn ACL.
I knew something was torn. And then the way he didn't want to get up.
Was it
And,
non-contact?
no, it was. Yeah, it was some kind. He was coming down off of a play.
Yeah.
So it
No,
was.
I'm talking about he didn't have contact. Nothing hit his knee.
No,
No,
and that's
not
how
at all.
mine was. Mine,
Not at all.
non-contact, both of mine. I had one on the right and the left.
They both
He
made
was-
of tissue paper, huh?
Man. These niggas cost me a whole bunch of money, boy. I tell you, especially that senior year. But yeah, man, I know, and I feel sorry for him. But man,
And now looking back at this, like y'all were just talking about this Luka and AD trade, and you take the risk of Kyrie is a guy. That was the first thing I said when the trade happened. Kyrie is a guy that unfortunately can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis was helping out Kyrie in street clothes, as Charles Barkley would say, because he's not healthy right now. The whole team isn't coming out there healthy, and now you're looking at the Lakers sitting in that number 2 spot. Obviously, I didn't think it was a debate when the trade happened who won the trade, but now looking back at this,
I mean, I don't think who won the trade was ever debated. I think
at the beginning it was by some, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, I think people were trying to make sense of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they were talking, and then you had the Nico apologists, Maverick apologists saying, "Oh, they got better as a team." I mean, I don't know how you get better as a team when you let 30 walk out the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't lose. You can't trade a top 5 player in the league and get better.
And it just
It's
happened
impossible.
overnight. Nobody knew about it. It was just reported the next day. I'm looking at mine like, you know how they say fake news? Oh, that's fake
Yeah.
news.
That's all I thought. I was like, that's fake. That ain't no way. I checked everybody's account.
That's just like
that worked
Baltimore
for
when they left and
ESPN.
went to Indianapolis in the middle of the night.
And because it came across like 11 p.m. on a Saturday, I'm like, oh, for sure, this is
it's crazy.
this is not
It's
crazy. And then about an hour or so later, because I just watched the Lakers play, and but it's one of those situations that, and you guys can speak to this. How often in sports do we overthink what's going? It seems like as fans, we have a better understanding sometimes than management and insiders because
it's their job, man, and then there's so much pressure on you for the team to win.
Yeah.
You know, a guy named like Nico Harris, okay, you come in.
You're not a basketball guy.
You're not a basketball guy. You're a Nike guy.
Yeah.
You're a corporate type guy. You know, so you come in. You didn't draft Luka. You don't have this relationship with him. His family running around. You know, he really not speaking to you. You're not his boy. Kyrie is because Kyrie got a Nike contract.
or had one.
Or had one.
Yeah.
He had one. That's right. Until he started doing all the other stuff.
Yeah.
AD has a Nike contract.
Yep.
LeBron has a Nike contract, but he don't deal with Nico Harris.
No.
He dealing with Phil Knight.
Yeah.
The owner.
He get paid for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Luka has a Jordan contract.
Yep.
Right? So he don't have no affiliation with Nico. They say he was barely speaking to him.
Yep.
Couldn't tell him anything. So you want to try to say, hey, well, even though he talented, I don't like the way he treat me. Let's try to find a way to get rid of this, you know, and get something else. Let me see what I can do and I can talk up. And he the one and went and
To
initiate that contract.
Yeah.
He went and initiated that trade.
Oh yeah.
And say, hey, I want to get I want to get him out of here.
The DuPonts wasn't thinking about that. They're
No,
trying to get a
no.
casino built. They're not thinking about.
Well,
about
you know,
that.
the more I thought about
and
it,
then when he go and consult, because the owners had to sign off on a
They
Luka
did.
trade.
They did.
And so
They
was
signed off on it.
and I'm sure he went and put in his pitch and says, hey, man, I think we'll be better off with AD. We get this. We got this big. We got Kyrie.
you
Kyrie
won't have to pay this $350
That's what
million.
I was.
Yeah, and
that
that's
was the
what
se-
they.
that
That's
was
what
the
the
selling
owners
point.
think. That's what them owners think.
That's what the
about.
only thing I remembered from
And
the
so-
whole conversation.
But I'm thinking when it happened, like Luka's younger.
Yeah.
AD has a history of staying hurt. Kyrie has a history of staying hurt, or being in
You already got 3 bigs on your team.
You already
Three.
three.
That stay hurt. Derek
Three.
Lively and
This guy
Gafford.
took you to the conference.
And Max, what's his name?
Kleber, he was in the trade.
Yeah,
He
got
gone. He
traded.
gone to L.A.
But
His
then-
foot was broke anyway.
But the thing about it is, you this guy, you went to the Western Conference Finals with this guy last year.
No. The championship.
Championship game. Yeah, he sure did. That's right.
NBA
They played
Finals.
Finals.
And now look at that. My friend Kyrell that's on here all the time. He's a diehard Mavericks fan. He said the worst day in my NBA fandom life when Kyrie tore it because
So-
it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Now Luka's gone. Kyrie's probably not going to come back until March of next year.
And LA has gone from 5th place to the second place in the Western
Zero
Conference.
to hero.
And Luka is enjoying himself, having more fun here in Tinseltown where all the superstars is
Yeah,
hot
man.
and sunny.
Culturally, I
Palm
would say
trees.
this.
Yeah.
Luka is Serbian or
He's Slovenian.
Slovenian. I'm sure there are more Slovenians.
That's
in
what I was just
LA.
going to say.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm positive it is. There's some
But-
Slovenians, some Ukrainians,
but
whatever.
Nico Harris is standing with guards outside his house right now.
Yeah. And the news that just came out, and it just happened to be yesterday, right before Kyrie tore his ACL, that the Mavericks are planning to raise their ticket prices next year because they said they want to. They're raising the prices up because of the ongoing investments in the team and fan engagement, is what the Mavericks came out and said.
So here's the whole deal. Now, I listened to conspiracy theories, guys.
yeah, it's all good.
Oh,
So there is a point when the team was bought.
Mhm.
Mark Cuban sold the team. The guy asked Mark Cuban, the family asked Mark Cuban, would you be interested in moving to Vegas?
Mhm.
Mark Cuban said, hell no.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
However, and he said, on top of that, the NBA would never approve it.
Yeah.
He sells the team. First thing they ask Adam Silver is what?
Can they
What-
move to Las Vegas?
Can you move to Las Vegas?
That's what they all
And
for.
Adam Silver says, looking at the Dallas fan base, market, the investment we have in there, we never allow you to move. Do they do this?
Self-sabotage.
Yeah,
I mean,
To
and
ostracize-
it ain't-
I've
to
never listened.
ostracize the fan base.
Yeah.
lose money a couple of years to get the money back.
Because that's the same thing.
Because politically, what's going to happen? Okay, so let's go back a little bit.
Mhm.
He allowed them to be part of the ownership group because he thought Texas was going to allow casinos.
Right.
He's publicly said that multiple times. Yeah.
Dallas has said even if you allow casinos in Texas, we're not going to allow you to build one in Dallas.
In Dallas, yeah.
And so what's the difference? So that's where the whole wrangling starts. So that's where Mark Cuban, that's where Mark Cuban selling to them kind of he I guess he didn't, maybe he did, maybe he didn't know that Dallas wasn't going to ever authorize a casino being built.
right.
And so, because the DuPont's dream is to have an arena
Mm-hmm.
with a casino and sportsbook on the inside.
Yeah.
Well,
they
I mean,
they own all the biggest casinos in Vegas. The
Well,
Vegas Sands.
it was the same concept they said with in the NFL. They would never allow an NFL team to move to Las Vegas because of what? The
Gambling. Yeah.
And that's the same thing they're saying with the NBA. But
I thought they were reserving Vegas expansion for LeBron. That's what I've always
heard in
Thought.
basketball.
And that's,
too. I've heard
that's
that
what
too.
he's always came out and said. I want to own a team, and I would like to own a team in Las Vegas. He said it publicly. And I think the two expansions, they're going to, because you have to do two of them. You can't just do one because the teams will be off, will be Seattle and Vegas. Because then you can move New Orleans and Memphis back to the east where they already were previously. You can move those two.
No, I don't think
back
they were
to-
ever in the East.
The Memphis, Well, Memphis was previously.
No, they weren't
ranked.
never in the East. They should have been.
Yeah, they should have been. Yeah. Well, there's multiple teams like that. Minnesota can be in the East.
Yeah.
New Orleans can be in the East. Memphis. So there's multiple teams that can move to the East to make it even. So they want Seattle to get a team back, and they want obviously Vegas.
Seattle had a great fan base, and I don't understand why they moved.
They should have never moved. They said they're deciding between Seattle and Vancouver, and they'll obviously
but I don't
be
see
Seattle.
an NBA letting a franchise move from a city like Dallas. Now,
I don't think so.
Now, but if they, this move, the way I hadn't really seen a team respond like Luka, but okay, let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
The only team in my lifetime that they responded to a player movement like they've been responding to Luka was LeBron going to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
But they blamed that on LeBron.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
They blamed it on LeBron, and LeBron was gone.
Mm-hmm.
This situation, they blamed it on the GM and ownership, and they can't go nowhere.
They can't go anything. They can't do anything. You got to sit there and be in it every day.
So what's going to be the long-term effect? Especially, just think about this. Especially if Dallas doesn't make the playoffs this year.
They're not making. They're shutting it down.
They're in the 10th spot right now, right?
And they're gonna shut it down. They're shutting Anthony Davis down. They're probably gonna shut down Derek Lively.
Yeah.
I
think they throwing the towel now.
Yeah.
You don't have a point guard.
You at the 10th spot just to lose at the 10th in the play-in anyway.
You put all your eggs in the basket with Kyrie and Anthony Davis, and both of them are injured.
And this will be one of the craziest 3 seasons for a team because they trade for Kyrie 2 years ago and don't make the playoffs.
It was in the NBA
and then the next year they go to the finals, and now the next year again they're not going to make the playoffs. So in the last 3 years they would have not made the playoffs twice and made the finals in between that, which is crazy. You never even see that from a team at any point. So this storyline just got even wilder, and I'm probably leaning more towards your theory of self-sabotage with the Dallas Mavericks, because that's the only thing I can see. They want the casino.
Cat running around that
they don't care. The DuPonts don't care about nothing else.
Of course they don't count on Kyrie getting injured, having a catastrophic injury.
Exactly.
AD pulling his widget, whatever he pulled. I'm not sure what's in that part of your body that you can pull, but it looked like he pulled something in his midsection.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, the abdominal strain or
whatever, I don't even know how you get that.
Anthony Davis injury. That's what we classify that as. This is Anthony Davis injury.
Only time I've got anyway. I was gonna tell you one time I got an abdominal cramp, but this is a family show.
We was already out there talking about Matt Stafford and this girl getting
AD. So they're shutting down AD.
That's what I think they're gonna do. He was already borderline. Maybe could play the last week of the regular season.
You don't think Dinwiddie can pick up the slack?
Not that slack.
No.
Not that slack. AD is 30 points. Kyrie's 30
Washington,
points.
Dinwiddie.
Nah.
I think the only reliable person that they had was Kyrie.
So where's my guy, Tim Hardaway Jr.?
In Detroit?
In Detroit.
And they winning. They won 9 in a row. They winning out there in Detroit. So, that's very unfortunate news that Kyrie
Lakers
Irving
got to win tonight.
Yeah, and I don't even think the Lakers play tonight.
No, I think they play the Pelicans.
Yeah, they do. They play. Come on, man. They're going to destroy the Pelicans. The Pelicans is 17-44. But, hey, man, take that Zion Williams prop, and that's what I'm getting ready to talk about, some of these props I got for tonight before we run out of time here. Want to look at a couple of these games tonight and pick some of these games with y'all. A couple of the props I like tonight for y'all that do get on a couple of these gambling sites and decide you want to patronize them with a little bit of your money. For one, I like Steph Curry over 26.5 points. They just started playing right now, so maybe you can get in on a live bet. They're playing in New York. So everybody wants to show out when you go into New York and when you're going into the Garden. Yes. So I'm taking him. I took him over 26.5 points. I took the other one. I took was Ty Jerome on 3-pointers, 1.5 threes. He's made like 4 threes in his last 5 games. So come on, y'all. This
from Cleveland.
From Cleveland. This should be some easy cash in there. Want to look at some of these games though for tonight and see pick some of these winners. Who y'all think? The first one is the Golden State and New York game. They already started, and they're in the first quarter right now. Golden State's up 19-17, so it's a close game still.
I'm taking Golden State.
Okay.
If Jimmy Butler playing.
Yeah, Jimmy's playing. Jimmy's
Okay,
playing.
well, I'm taking Golden
The
State.
other game they lost, did he take the night off or something? Because they got their head.
Yeah. They won every game he plays except for
one
They
game.
didn't win the first one.
Yeah, I think
Except
that's the
for
only one
one.
that they lost was the
Except
first
for
game,
one.
and they
Except
won.
for one.
They
I
8-1.
think 8-1 with him in the.
Yeah, okay. And then they lost. Who were they playing? They lost to a sorry team
Yeah.
with the Lakers.
But he
lost.
didn't play.
Same thing Lakers did. They lost to the Jazz and to the Hornets, and then won every game after that. So I guess they need to get his feet wet or something on the team.
He didn't play that game.
Tonight is a test for the Lakers because I think I think Rui and Austin is going to be out again. Lakers have been playing well, but they've been keeping it close. I'll just put it like that.
Oh, they definitely keep it close. They know how to make you sweat if you're taking those over and unders. They definitely know how to make you sweat.
I think the Lakers just kind of like figured out.
They hadn't had a great offensive game in about 4 games.
And then it's the coaching aspect of it, man. I think J.J. Redick is
man,
heck of a coach. Yeah,
he is definitely showing that he belongs as a coach. 38-21 now. I mean, at this point, the last 2 seasons with the Lakers, you sitting at the 7th spot, the 8th spot, the 9th spot, barely a game over
with
500. With more talent, barely a game over 500, and now here you are, 17 games over 500, going into the final stretch of the season. And I like J.J. Redick as a coach. I know a lot of people had a bunch of stuff to say about him earlier in the season, and you're right, Austin Reeves is out in this game. LeBron is a game-time decision. He's going to play. Luka's a game-time decision. He's going to play in this game as well. Well, I don't know because it's the Pelicans. So I don't know. That's why I didn't make any bets on the Lakers today.
Well, my point is, in my opinion, they're not going to play one without the other.
Okay. I can see that. I can see that.
But here's what I do believe. They're not sitting out any games in L.A.
No.
That is true. It's in
Are
LA.
they in LA tonight?
Man, yeah.
No, they ain't.
That crowd sound like the playoffs. Every game I watched at the Lakers, that crowd sound like it was the playoffs.
Now they can raise their ticket prices.
Yeah, you know,
They brought in Luka.
for real.
You want to bring in Anthony Davis and raise your ticket prices?
I heard
8%.
I heard
what they said. They're raising all their tickets 8%.
I heard a guy say this, and it kind of made sense. This could extend LeBron's career another 2 years. Because you see him playing these last 10 games, there's been something about this game that has been a lot easier for LeBron. It looks like
you don't have to pound the ball the whole game.
He don't have to dribble. He don't have to dribble, man. You got somebody else can do that now. He can just fill the lane.
He can just use his brain to score.
Back cut. You know, and Luka looking like Joe Burrow out there, man.
every game, the first 2 or 3 plays gonna be a touchdown pass to LeBron immediately. As soon as they get it.
Surprisingly, maybe it's just because they were trying to bring in a big man and they didn't. But Jackson Hayes has really found his stride as a player.
Yeah, he said it yesterday. He said it
making
yesterday.
him look like he all pro.
Yeah.
I said it yesterday on this show.
But or is it just me? Or you guys are walking those a lot more basketball than I do. But it seems like Luka gets guys the ball where they don't have to think about what to do with it.
Exactly.
Even LeBron,
he always makes the right decisions, man. I'm just saying with the ball, it seems like he has eyes in the back of his head because his vision and his sight.
And he ain't in a hurry to do it.
When he on ball, man,
you on his pace the whole time.
He gonna pound it. Back you down, and it might be
like what LeBron would do.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's 2 of them out there now.
2 of them
now, what I'll say about LeBron passes, because I get to see both of them, it seems like LeBron passes are harder to catch. Because if you watch Vando, if you watch Jackson Hayes, you watch them fumble a lot of passes. They don't bobble Luka's passes. They catch Luka's.
Soft.
He pinpoints.
Yeah. Man, Luka's a problem.
It's like he lure him to sleep. He sat there and pounded, lure him to sleep, and then you got.
The next thing you know, Jackson, he dunking it on somebody.
Yeah.
I'm like, where did that come from?
That's what makes the game so easy. And like you said, going to extend LeBron's career another 2 more years because now he only has to use his brain. Similar to what Michael Jordan got when Phil Jackson came there and they implemented the triangle. You don't have to sit there and thinking, how can I manipulate this and how can I do this? You're going to be in the spot to score, and either you score or you pass the ball. LeBron's in the same thing.
Last thing, how do you think, how refreshing is for LeBron to be on this team, and he doesn't have to be the system?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you got another All-Pro. It takes a lot of the pressure off LeBron. It puts all the pressure on Luka.
It does.
To be honest. But Luka is up for that challenge because he has something to prove. So
Anthony Davis
it's
wasn't.
Working.
LeBron been trying to get the keys to Anthony
because
Davis.
He has something to prove
Mm-hmm.
because Dallas got rid of him. He couldn't believe that, man. That do something to you. That do something to you, man.
Each game that I watched this, each game that Lucas had 30,
Mm-hmm.
LeBron goes straight to the shower. He doesn't even hang around for interviews or nothing. He goes straight to the shower. I think that's his way of relinquishing the team.
You go do the interviews.
Like one game he had like maybe 29, 28.
Mm-hmm.
Luka had like 32, and he just went straight to the shower. You know what I mean?
He tried to do it with Anthony Davis for 3 years.
Man,
AD wouldn't do it.
LeBron is third in the MVP race right now to me.
Yes, I agree.
After Shea.
I agree.
After
and Jokic.
Jokic.
I
would have to say LeBron.
Because Donovan's number's not good enough. The Cleveland Cavaliers are winning, but Donovan's only averaging like 22 points a game. His number's not good enough.
Jalen Brunson.
Giannis ain't won enough games.
Yeah. But
well, I mean, numbers wise, and I was just looking at this the other day. Numbers wise, this is some of LeBron's best work.
Yeah. His numbers are better than the last MVP he won. We talked about that yesterday on the show. The last MVP he won.
You compare his numbers to the last MVP. He sent me a clip, and they were similar. As matter of fact, they better.
His points was higher. His rebounds was higher. His assists are higher.
And he won MVP.
He's shooting 43% from three right now. He's shooting 55 from the field. Like, well, man, what are we like? It's crazy to see that LeBron is still even this cold and he's 40 years old.
He's 40 years old,
and he's gonna be playing till he's 45 at this point. If Luka gets to do all the dribbling, he just got to run and dunk.
This is a sport that your athleticism, you have to have it. And again, LeBron's game hasn't changed much. Like he shoots it better.
He shoots three better.
Yeah,
he shoots the three better. But I'm talking about
playing above the rim
when he decides to bang it.
And if you can think the game, even when your athleticism gets lower, I ain't gonna say goes away. I gotta go back to the Michael Jordan point. I still know how to get 40. I don't care if I got to dunk on you or not dunk on you.
This is what impresses me with LeBron, and this is the last thing I'm saying. Even at age 40, in a physical competition between him and a much younger player, he seems to always win. I don't care if he's going up for the block.
That's pride. Though,
yeah.
I'm not gonna let no younger guys.
No.
When it's time to do that, it's time to go. You don't understand what I'm saying? I remember when it was time for me to retire. I took a hit one time and I breathed on the ground. I couldn't catch my breath. I ain't going back, but I got traded to another job. I'm like, I'm not going back. I'm done. I'm done, man. Because you know when it's time to go. You know what I'm saying?
But he doesn't lose a physical competition. I forget who went to lay the ball up, and he did like most guys will back it out when they.
When they even hear LeBron coming.
The guy looked and saw LeBron and still went up to try to.
Right.
Oh, they want to try LeBron. They want to try these young dudes. They want to try LeBron.
Was it Sunday? It probably was Sunday.
It was one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Sunday when it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's just something that happens, and he just keeps playing through it because the older you get, the more times it takes to recover between games, the sore you are. You know, all of that, and but this guy right here, man. At 40 years old, he's still in that same place that he was when he was 22.
I want to say he had on the back-to-back, he had 30 and 30. On the back-to-back, he had 30 one night, came back, got 30 the next night.
Luka, he's going to get the keys to Luka, but I feel like in the back of LeBron's mind, he's like, man, these dudes think, oh, Luka the best player, he way better than me. Okay, here's 30. Here's another 30.
But he's going to get
another 30.
For it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is
sure.
I think Luka takes pressure off of him.
Sure.
And allows him to play a freer game.
Way
like
more
LeBron,
free.
Like what you realize is LeBron can score so many ways. I'm just talking about scoring the ball, not to mention affecting the ball game. Like sometimes he can just decide I'm gonna rebound. I'm gonna affect the game. One night he had like 30 points and 17 rebounds.
Yeah, that was a couple nights ago. 17 boards.
And another thing, Luka is playing with the guy he idolizes.
Yeah. He said that when he first came into the league.
Man,
My idol is LeBron.
LeBron.
LeBron tried to sign him before he signed to Jordan. LeBron tried to make Luka his first LeBron athlete.
Yeah. So you think about that, man. I'm going to play with my idol, the guy that I idolize.
And I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, which is crazy to even say.
That's why I would have never paired him with all of that, man. They got to know all that too.
Yeah,
if you're GM, you got to know all that, man.
But they best buddies. They said they was drinking coffee and sharing straws and stuff. Nico Harrison and Rob Pelinka.
Oh yeah.
So this all happened on some coffee dates.
Because that's what they say. They say Nico was Kobe's account rep.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. And Rob, him and Rob been known each other 20 years.
Yeah.
And been close friends.
Been close.
20. He was. Nico got his position.
Rob is the same way. He wasn't a G. He was a
he was an agent.
He was an agent.
Yeah. I know
he got that job because he was Kobe's agent, and that built that relationship with him and Nico. Because Nico was only reason Nico got elevated in his position in Nike is because he was Kobe's rep. If he was just stayed somebody else's rep, he'd just been another guy at Nike. But he became Kobe's rep. Let's move you up to a CFO or wherever his position was that he got to. So that's how he ended up even getting his job. Last point I want to make before we get off here: SGA dropped 50 on my team last night. It was crazy to even watch. I mean, is he the clear front runner for MVP?
No doubt.
Averaging 32.6 a game, and OKC already at 50 wins.
I mean, voters.
Man, that dude make it look so easy, man.
Yeah. I couldn't even be mad watching last night.
I couldn't even be mad. I can't even make sense of how easy he takes the easy shot.
Mm-hmm.
He makes it a whole lot.
Yep.
I see him trying to force him either way. Like, the only thing they don't do consistently, I don't know why, they don't double team him very much.
Because they swing that ball around and they got shooters.
Maybe I was thinking because he keeps the ball in the center of the court. That's why you don't double team a guy right there.
They got wide open guys that can play. That's when you have a roster full of guys that can shoot the ball and can play. That's what you get. But this guy right here, he can score at every level. And he can go left, he can go right. He can handle the ball. He can dribble the ball. But his mid-range is elite. I mean, when you have a mid-range game, you can do whatever you want to because
ain't no bad shot.
Ain't no bad shot. No, ain't no bad shot. Wherever you take it from is a high percentage shot, especially when it's even one shooting.
He get better and better each year. So,
every year.
Yeah.
Got snubbed. I felt like on MVP last year.
Now, the Joker, you could give it to him because his numbers are better. I mean, he's doing something
triple-double.
No one has ever done at a center position ever. But him.
He got a chance to be the first center to average a triple-double.
Yeah. So you could easily give it to him, but he's already gotten it 3 times, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean.
I hope he don't. He shouldn't have got it last year, in my opinion.
I heard people say, the voters, they get voters fatigue. They tired of seeing, they want to give it to somebody else and give him that guy opportunity.
The only thing I'll say about Joker, this is just from me as a basketball fan.
Mm-hmm.
We used to big guys physically dominating the game, and Joker doesn't physically dominate the game. So some people might, like myself, who is a casual basketball fan, might not understand what Joker is doing because it doesn't look the way Shaq did it.
Who got the MVP last year? Or Embiid?
Jokic.
Jokic,
yeah.
Okay, and Embiid before that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Embiid shouldn't have got it that year.
I think Embiid is the one that got it, and then they got mad because he didn't play but 60 games or whatever.
Yeah.
And he had numbers, but they still wasn't better than the Jokers, though.
Yeah. After that, they implemented that 65-game rule. You got to play 65 games, which guarantees he'll never win another MVP in his entire career because ain't no way he's ever playing 65 games on that. But Shay, definitely I agree with y'all. Front runner for MVP for sure. Folks, we're out of time here today on Centex Primetime. Want to thank you guys for tuning in with us here today. As always, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube Centex Sports Network / Centex Sports TV. We've got MCC baseball and basketball tomorrow, so we won't have a show. But Thursday, we'll be back in action. Sayed will come on here. We'll play Fly Eagles Fly before he comes on here, and we'll talk some more about it. We'll talk some more about the NFL and these NBA topics. So thank you guys for tuning in with us. Everybody have a great evening. Happy Fat Tuesday.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.